Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from BBC News. It was published on October 18th. This is my second attempt at recording this video. I just was recording and I had fucked things up. So let's see how run number 2 goes through. At least I didn't get through the whole article and realized I fucked up. That would have sucked. Anyway, the title, Trump makes new threat over U.S.-Mexico border. Now, the title should be more accurate to the fact of, because they're trying to make it sound like this is just Trump being a whacked out, like, with the title. It's like clickbaity. But he's basically saying, we're going to stop this caravan. If I got to bring troops to the border and secure the border to stop you, I'm going to do it. That's the gist of it. And it's funny how the leftists, you know, the far left types at the BBC, how they don't like it. And, oh, God. They seriously need to get lives. You know, maybe find a significant other, pop out a few kids. Or your significant other pop out a few kids. Get a clue. Worry about your own shit. Worry about your own problems in the UK. We don't want the type of shit that you got going on with the truck drivers of peace types. Alright, where you've got criminality and no-go zones and rape and stabbings and acid attacks, and we don't want that type of shit here in the US, which we would have our own variant and version of it if we just allowed people to willy-nilly come across the fucking border without making sure that they're not complete and total psychopaths, scumbags, criminals, you know, all those types of things. Just because we don't want to just let them in like you did with the truck drivers of peace, and then when they went to go fight for ISIS, let them back in, you know, yeah. Go fuck yourselves. Seriously. You have no rhyme or reason or right to comment on this, to put your own feels into this shit. You want to report the facts, that's one thing. But your house is not in order. Put your fucking house in order, and then you can say something. It's that fucking simple. U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened to use military force to completely close the U.S.-Mexico border. Just the tonality of that. Military force? You mean stationing troops at the fucking border? To stop people? And they're saying to completely close the border. He didn't say completely, sorry for the squeaky chair. He didn't say completely close the border. He said close our southern border. Could mean like on the idea of closing the gaps. See, they want to sensationalize, and they're like, well, completely close the border, you know, stop the trade between Mexico and the U.S. He's taking it too far, and he's going to make these poor people who are coming to get free shit. These poor people that want free shit, you're going to stop them. I mean, you're trying to make it sound like it's a bad thing that he's going to bring the military down to the border to protect the sovereignty of the United States and stop the influx of people who aren't deciding to come here legally. The warning, via a series of tweets on Thursday, comes as a new caravan of more than 3,000 migrants from El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala heads north. Mr. Trump has already threatened to cut all aid payments to the three countries over illegal immigration. Good. The whole reason why they were getting the aid in the first place was for the fact of, we give you this money, you stop your citizens from crossing our border illegally. We give you the money, you improve the conditions, while taking some of the money to also stop them from illegally leaving and coming into America, and we'll all be happy. They didn't want to do that. They're just like, well, fuck it. We're going to pocket the money. We're corrupt, Hey, you give us the money, we do it. Oh, you gave us the money, well, fuck you. We're going to put it in our pockets. It's like that type of shit. It's corruption. Why the fuck should they get the profit when they're not doing what they were agreed to do and hold up their end of the fucking bargain? The group says they are fleeing violence and poverty. Well, wah. Poverty? These people could find ways to earn a living, support their families, and do so. Now, they wouldn't be living high off the hog and be collecting a bunch of free shit, but they could do it. I mean, I've got a friend, a Guatemalan, who just by chance, if the Democrats ever grabbed him, made him accent neutral and threw a sheet over him with what he says about other Guatemalans and Hispanics and shit like that, talks about building the wall and everything else, they could probably paint him as a KKK. Even though he's not really racist. He's like, with him, from a poor village filled with lazy people who just wanted to take siestas, sit on their asses, not better their lives, the community, or anything like that. He came from that poor village. He busted his ass. He saved up the money there, applied for a visa and then a green card, and now in a year, or about a year, he's going to be a U.S. citizen. And a year after that, as he put it, I'm voting for Trump. And he wants the wall more than anything. He's like, fuck these. You should hear him with the last Caravan. Oh my God, it sounded like he had fucking Tourette's. Fuck him, all this other shit. I'm like, damn. He's like, I spent $10,000 to come here legally. They think that they can just walk across the fucking border. Fuck them. I was like, shit. I mean, obviously with a Guatemalan accent he's saying that stuff, but I was like, God fucking damn. And I mean, he came from that type. I mean, he was a small village, poor village. I mean, a lot of Hispanics that come, the ones that come here legally, they're like him on the note of seeing this shit. And it really freaks out the Democrats. They don't get it. Because they don't realize that these people spent all this fucking money to come here legally. They then spend money to bring, like, say, other family members and get them in legally. And they all bust their ass and contribute. And these fuckers just walk across the border. They're fighting for the same types of, to an extent, same types of jobs. They're fucking undercutting them because they're working under the table and illegally and all this other shit. They don't like that. They really don't. I mean, my buddy, holy fucking shit. I'm almost tempted to record him sometime and make a video around it. In addition to stopping all payments to these countries, which seem to have almost no control over their population, I must, in the strongest of terms, ask Mexico to close this onslaught, and if unable to do so, I will call up the U.S. military and close our southern border, Mr. Trump wrote. Now, here's the thing. Nowhere there did he say he was talking about completely closing the border. Okay, you can close a border and still allow access through it. That's one of those things that they seem to forget to mention here. Because you can close a border to, say, certain traffic. Still a closed border, but you can still have other traffic going across it. I've got no problem with him sending our military to the southern border, setting them up on it and going, yeah, catch the motherfuckers. I got no problems with that. I say revolving door every one of the motherfuckers. Personally, and I wouldn't want to see anyone get killed, but if a couple of them got shot, which would be legal under international law, mind you, it would be completely legal, and they could spurg out all they want, I say if a couple of them got dropped, wounded, whatever, it would definitely deter others. Because if you think you're going to get shot crossing the border, you ain't going to cross the fucking border. It really is that simple. The president has previously threatened to cut Honduran aid. The U.S. sent more than $175 million to the country in 2016 and 2017, according to the U.S. Agency for International Development. Right, which that money was intended as incentive for the Honduran government to curb this fucking shit. They don't want to do it. They shouldn't get paid a fucking dime. They don't want to do what they agreed to do to get the money. Fuck them. It's that simple. Why does it concern Trump? The group of Central American migrants has made its intentions clear. They are heading to the U.S. Since he was on the campaign trail, Mr. Trump has lambasted illegal immigrants. No, you mean illegal fucking aliens. To be a fucking immigrant, you fucking leftist shitbags at the BBC. You have to go to a place legally to immigrate. So, let me fix that for you. Since he was on the campaign trail, Mr. Trump has lambasted illegal aliens, and this latest caravan comes after a major crackdown on migrants heading over the Mexican border. After illegals heading over the Mexican border. I got to fix that too for you? Jesus Christ. He didn't lambast illegal immigrants. He stated fucking facts about them, that they're not the very best that are coming across. That you got rapists and drug dealers and gangbangers and cartel members. How much you want to bet that all of the above and then some on the note of criminality are going to be mixed in with those supposed people that are crying poverty and violence as excuses to claim refugee status? Bet you more than a few. Changes to detention rules saw thousands of migrant children detained and separated from their parents earlier this year, sparking national and international condemnation. Whoa. Let's set the record straight on that. First off, this is something that's been going on since Bill and Hillary Clinton. Obama was doing it, got a little flack for it, and started giving the free pass with anyone who had a fucking kid in tow. Said, oh, this is my kid. Oh, welcome to America. Come on in. Here, by the way, here's a summons. But we're just going to, release you. Let you go into the wild. And then never fucking show up. And you know what's scary? Is they found in more than a few cases, we're talking several at this point. Actually, a decent amount of them. More than there should be. With DNA testing, because of the separation. Because you know what? It might be a good idea that you establish that the child is actually the child of the supposed parent before you just assume, because thanks to DNA testing, there have been multiple instances where the kids were not the kids of the parents, that the people were not even familially related to them. There was no familial relation at all. But you see, the only people who caused national and international condemnation were spurging leftist fucks like you at the BBC and here in the U.S. going, oh, you can't do that. And you're laying out calm, rational points as to why it's being done. And you're all going, ree! and your fucking hand hitting your chest, fucking spurging out while you're fucking slamming your head into the wall. You guys seriously need fucking hockey helmets. Because you are fucking all retarded. And I mean that in the literal sense. You all are suffering from mental retardation. To think that separating children from adults that are claiming to be their parents and establishing they are before allowing them to just possibly just take off with the fucking child might be a good thing. Because, if they do manage to get refugee status, you want to make sure the kid's theirs, because when you release them with the refugee status, you don't want to be handing a child trafficker, their payday, or a pedophile their fucking sex toy. Their fucking toy of perversion. Do you? The president's threats also come just weeks before the midterm elections on 6 November, which could see Democrats unseating Republicans on Capitol Hill. Not likely. And the thing is, you try to portray this as, oh, that's the thing with his base. The whole immigration thing. No. Trump won the election because of the silent majority. Which part of them are those ones that don't normally go out and vote, but you pissed them off too bad so much in 2016 they did? Yeah. They're for things like borders and legal immigration and stuff like that. So, I really don't see it hurting him. I see it helping him with more than just the base. It's going to cause the 8% of the left, the actual left, to spurg out. That 8%, all of them, ooh. Mr. Trump's recent comments are probably an effort to bolster support among his base by cracking down on migration. No, it's more than just his base, because you know what? A lot of the Hispanics, which are now supporting him, they want border controls. Blacks, which just went up. When they're fighting for jobs with illegals who are going to work for less and shit like that, they want a border wall. They want border controls. Because you literally have these Hispanics that are coming in, like Mexicans and Guatemalans and Hondurans, like in, say, California. They're fighting for the same jobs that the blacks are fighting for. So they're going to want... The ones that are off the plantation, the Democrat one, that is, they want a border wall. They want border control. Because they realize that those jobs that should be theirs are being worked by fucking illegals. But, keep believing what you want to believe. High-stakes elections boost Trump threats. Which this section's analysis is by Anthony Zucker from the BBC. This isn't the first time President Donald Trump has used an organized group of Central American refugees heading for the U.S. to drum up support for his border security and immigration policies. With the midterm elections 19 days away, however, the stakes are higher and the rhetoric is sharper. You're the ones literally using, at the BBC, using these migrants to go after Trump and the fact that he wants to control the border and try to make it look like he's a fucking whack job for wanting to secure the border with our military, which is the intent of the fucking military. Wow, you are fucking delusional people. Like, seriously. Oh my God. You mean, and to drum up support for it. There is support. People want the wall. That's why you got elected. He's trying to show, if you want to be accurate, why we need the wall. But see, you don't want to report it like that, because then you're proving the point. It may not end up much more than rhetoric, however. Mr. Trump's Twitter threats have, in the past, proven an unreliable indicator of future decisions. Oh, really? Could that be for the fact of, say, like with Rocket Man? The little fucker backed down? China? He followed through. Oh, I'm going to put tariffs on you. Oh, fuck you, China says. He goes, no. He goes, nah, fuck you. And he puts the tariffs on. Then China gets froggy, leaps, gets in his face. He goes, no. Fuck you even more. I think he's pretty much been saying what he's going to do and doing it. But yet, you're so Trump deranged, you don't realize that. There could be political benefit to the president's accusations, lobbed toward Democrats, and the warnings to Latin American leaders, but presidential action would have consequences. What the fuck are you talking about? You seriously are now going to try to make it sound like, oh, well, if he did that, it would fuck everything up. Bullshit. And where I've already read this, I know that's where you're going. Using the military to close the border would be enormously disruptive in states like Texas and Arizona, which, by the way, have 2 high-profile Senate races. Yeah! And Arizona has a major fucking illegal and cartel fucking problem. There are freaking whole sections of the fucking state by the border that are cartel territory. I have a friend who went out on a hike in the desert and found shallow fucking graves. And when he stumbled upon them, he's out there, he's like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden a pickup truck starts rolling up with a bunch of Hispanics with AKs in the fucking back. Huh. You don't think when that's going on, people want a border wall and want their border secure over there? Are you fucking kidding me? You know what? Stay on your little fucking island. Stop talking about the United States. Get a fucking clue. Because you idiots at the BBC are completely fucking clueless. Texas, they have the same fucking thing going on. They want their border secured. The governor has taken actions to do more to secure the fucking border when Obama was in office than Obama did. He's trying to get shit done. Trump's trying to get shit done on securing the fucking border. Holy fucking shit. Spurging fucking idiots in the UK with the BBC. The move would also complicate relations between the U.S. and Mexico as Andrés Manuel López Obrador prepares to assume the Mexican presidency in December. And you failed to mention that him and Trump have already talked about this shit, and they've already worked out a deal. This was already discussed. Obrador is with Trump on securing this shit. He's a nationalist. Holy fucking Christ. Oh my God. A recent Fox News poll shows that probable midterm voters are more interested in preserving health care protections and reining in Donald Trump than immigration or border security. Now that's some funny shit. There is no way. That's got to be taken out of context because most people want Obamacare gone. The only thing they might consider protection-wise is maybe the thing with pre-existing conditions you cannot be denied, which was technically illegal anyways. They just want you to have, like, it was already, well, actually, no, it was already illegal. They could just charge you more for the insurance. See, but the Democrats don't think that's fair because if you're a high-risk person, it's like the idea of if you're a high-risk driver. What do you think? You should be paying someone who's the same rate as a person who's a low risk? No. It's no different. and I'm not buying into this, because if the actual poll said this, they wouldn't be taking shit out of context. This is when you know, like the BBC or any other legacy outlet, or just an outlet in general, is lying. Because they'll say how this is written. With the recent Fox News poll, yada, 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 midterm voters are interested in preserving healthcare protections and reining in Donald Trump. This is when Fox's news base, the people that they polled, are Trump supporters. This is where you know that they, yeah. Trump got elected on the fact of the fucking border wall. Yet, the voters don't care about the wall. Are you seriously that high on a fucking crack, on a 3-week crack, from a 3-week crack bender? Are you seriously that fucking high? Have you been smoking crack nonstop for 3 fucking weeks? Are you seeing pink elephants and unicorns and shit like that? Because all you gotta say is, if you are you talking to them and they're the ones that told you this shit? Damn. The president, with his tweets, is trying to change that. If he can't, it will be an election fought on uncomfortable ground for Republicans. Bullshit. Wow, even the BBC's trying to fucking twist shit with the election. The Democrats have fucked themselves. And you're trying to make it sound like this is going to fuck him. No! This is only going to help him. Where is the caravan now? The migrant caravan is currently making its way through Guatemala, mostly on foot, with several of the quickest already arriving at the Mexican southern border by Thursday. Their journey began in San Pedro Sula, Honduras on Friday. Most migrants are carrying few belongings, taking what they can carry in backpacks as they head out on the nearly 2,800-mile trek from Honduras to the U.S. border. Yeah, and why isn't Honduras stopping them at their border? Like, I mean, they can leave. Hey, get the fucking visas and shit. You show them visas, whatever. You know, why isn't the country that they're moving into next stopping them? Make fucking sense. Could Trump close the U.S.-Mexican border? Thousands of people and goods legally cross the U.S.-Mexico border daily. While Mr. Trump has sent National Guard troops to the border before, it is unclear what he means by shutting it down entirely, and whether that would affect business or people with legitimate visas. His tweet never said he was going to shut it down entirely. You're the ones that are putting that in there. Shutting down the border could mean, oh God, you can literally shut down a border and to a particular group or traffic. Still a shut down border, but it's still allowing access in and out of it. Like, for example, produce. Say that there is some disease with produce. You can close the border to that traffic and allow other traffic through. That's still a closed border. I love how they try to ignore that fact, though, and try to portray this as, well, if he closes the border, it's going to be like locked it down and no one will be able to cross and trade won't happen. That's not how it works. And according to international law, the U.S. cannot deport asylum seekers without first determining the validity of their claim. And I love how you leave out the fact that in order for them to be asylum seekers, they have to go to the nearest point or port of entry and declare that they are asylum seekers. They can't just cross the fucking border and then decide after the fact when they get busted to go, hey, I'm an asylum seeker. Let me in. Oh, wait, I'm already in. You can't let me go because I'm an asylum seeker. That's not how it works. The law is they come to a point of entry, a port of entry. and they declare it there. They don't do that. They're just a fucking bunch of illegals, and they should just get revolving doors sent the fuck back. According to the law. Really is that simple. Under pressure from the U.S. to stop the migrants, Mexico has sent federal police to the border, though they are not officially there to stop the caravan. Well, unofficially, I hope they're going, hey, we don't need no stinking batches. And they're actually, stopping some shit. Mexican officials said on Wednesday that those without papers would have to apply for refugee status or turn back. The funny thing is none of them have fucking papers. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo will be in Mexico this Friday, and U.S. media report. Is it reports? Yes. And U.S. media reports that he will discuss plans to stop the caravan. What the fuck? I've done 4 articles and 2 of them have had typos in them. How hard is it to fucking proofread? Like, seriously. I thought editors used to do that shit before a story was printed. Or posted in this case. I mean, I hope Pompeo, talking with them in Mexico, they come up with a good way to just stop the shit before it reaches the border. I mean, talk to Obrador. Say, look, man. Talk to these people. Well, we'll grease some palms within the government where you're not officially sworn in and don't have power. And we'll try to get them to work. We'll try to work with them. And stop this shit. Nip it in the bud before it even gets to our border. Well, in the bud, I mean before it crosses our border. Because nipping it in the bud would have been stopping this shit in Honduras. The surreal side to this perceived crisis at the border is that the border is more under control now than it was 15 or 20 years ago, Andrew Saleh, president of the Migration Policy Institute, told BBC. No. That's kind of bullshit. Let's see, 20 years ago, 1998, Bill Clinton. No, the border was a fucking sieve. What the fuck are you talking about? Were you even fucking alive back then? Because I was. The border was a fucking sieve under Billy Clinton. Slick Willie. It was a fucking sieve with Bush Jr. Bush Jr. was like, hell. He was like, well, when he got called on the shit, he was like, well, we need all these workers. And Americans won't do the construction jobs and this and that and the other thing. It's like, what? Americans won't do construction? Are you serious? Construction's good paying work. At least when it's Americans doing it. And he's going, oh, no. There's a shortage of labor. We need them to... Yeah. So nice fucking try. You expect people to have short-ass fucking memories. I mean, Migration Policy Institute... I believe that's one of those fucking open borders fucking organizations anyways. I could be wrong, though. Mr. Seeley said closing the border would wreak havoc on Mexican-American economies. I've already been through this. You can close a border to certain traffic while keeping it open to other traffic. Commerce being one of those things you can keep it open to, so it wouldn't affect the economy. Nice try. It could be a symbolic effort, he adds, a way of pressuring Mexico, but that would have a limited effect on illegal crossings and a huge effect on legal crossings. He's closing the border to illegal traffic. He's going to allow legal traffic through. That's what he means by closing the border. You fucking idiots. Take closing the border and make it sound like fully closing the border. Well, that's not the case. And I love how they throw in here the whole field section next. What will happen to the people? What will happen to the people who chose to risk their lives walking thousands of miles? illegally crossing into countries where they could get shot for doing so before even getting to the U.S. The Associated Press reports that many migrants do not have passports and have been using national ID cards, which allow them to travel within Central America. Mexico, however, requires a passport at entry. Yeah. These people don't even have the proper means. And you're like, well, it's an ID card. Maybe they should be able to. No. Fuck you. Human rights groups have criticized the U.S. and Mexican response to the caravan. What, for not just bending the fuck over and allowing these people to just come into our country and collect free shit? Fuck you for not allowing them to come into our countries. Fuck you. Seriously. You human rights group people. You got an issue with this situation? Open up your homes. Take them in personally. Are you willing to do that? If you're willing to do that, I'm sure we can let a couple of them come across the border. As many as you can take. But you got to house them. And you got to make sure that they've got everything that they need to get themselves established and started. It's only fair. Erica Guerra Rosa of Amnesty International. Oh, fucking God. They used to be something of worth, but now they ain't they're just fucking shit. Amnesty International said in a statement, Mexican authorities should not take a Trump approach treating people like a security threat. They literally are a fucking security threat. They committed a crime, crossed the border illegally, violating the sovereignty of the nation and its security. That literally makes them a fucking security threat. Wow. Holy fucking shit. These families deserve dignity and respect to ensure that no one is illegally returned to situations where they could risk serious harm due to violence. What? Illegally returned? If you come into a country illegally, if you don't go to a point of entry to apply for asylum, sending your ass back is 110% fucking legal. Sorry to break it to you, but that's how it works. Wow. Mexican President-elect Andre Manuel Lopez Obrador plans to offer work visas to Central Americans when he takes office in December. Yeah, work visas, not citizenship. Work visas. Temporary work visas on top of that. It is a plan that we have that anyone who wants to work in Mexico will have a work visa, he said. Mr. Seeley told the BBC he thinks Mexico will try to defuse the crisis the same way they did with the last migrant caravan by giving some people legal status or the chance to apply for asylum and deporting others. They really didn't do fucking shit. Did you see how many people were at the friggin' border fence? Fucking climbing it and shit? Hell, if I was fucking ICE, and the idea of law enforcement and their quotas, I would have parked right there and just, you're getting deported, and you're getting deported, and you're getting deported, and you're getting deported, and you made my quota. I mean, I would seriously be doing that shit. The caravan will probably diminish before it reaches the U.S.-Mexico border, but the whole episode will harden views on immigration in the U.S. on both sides and make Mexico more wary about cooperating with the U.S., he says. It really didn't diminish that much when the last caravan reached the U.S. border. Wow. Oh, that wasn't that long ago, and they're like leaving that fact out. And I love how they throw this at the end here. Why are they leaving? An estimated 10% of the population of Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras have fled danger, forced gang recruitment, and dismal economic opportunities. Yeah, and like my buddy, They should come here fucking legally. Who left because of those things? Left because the people in the village were lazy as fucking all hell. I mean, Jesus H. Christ. You're trying to justify them coming into a country illegally. There's no justification for that. If my friend can come in legally, if my friend can go, save up the money, spend it to get the proper papers, and that, visa, then green card and all that, they can do it too. Really is that simple. Otherwise, they can just fucking stay there. If they don't want to fucking make the effort to follow the rules of the United States to come here, then they don't deserve to come here. It's that fucking simple. The region has one of the highest murder rates in the world. The UN reported murder rates in 2015 in Honduras standing at 63.75 deaths per 100,000, and El Salvador at 108.64. Okay, so they're not nice places. But and on that note, can you guarantee that people in the Caravan aren't the ones that are causing those numbers to be like that? No, you can't. Yet you just want the United States to accept them with open arms. Not happening. Fuck off. Get a clue. Jari Dixon, an opposition politician in Honduras, with a name like Dixon. I've never seen Dixon in a Hispanic country before. So, Jari Dixon, an opposition politician in Honduras, tweeted on Monday that the Caravan was not seeking the American dream, but fleeing the Honduras nightmare. No, you get the first part right. They're not seeking the American dream, they're seeking the American free shit. The American dream is to come here, pick yourself up by your bootstraps, and make something of yourself. They're not coming here to make something of themselves. They're coming here to collect fucking free housing, free fucking food, okay, with the fact of food stamps, and then money from welfare and state assistance and WIC and everything else. You know, people talk about sanctuary cities now, and this used to be well known. Before the whole sanctuary city thing became a thing, there was one prototype city for that. Lawrence, Massachusetts. They literally had billboards and posters and all this stuff up in a variety of countries south of the U.S. border. Even the island nations out, towards the Caribbean and shit. DR and that. That said, come to Lawrence, Massachusetts. Collect free stuff, basically collect free shit, get welfare, all this other stuff. Documented fact on this. And people did it. Which is one reason why today Lawrence is a fucking shit hole. You drive through Lawrence, you lock your fucking doors in most cases. Yeah. But I remember when this was going around New England, how this was the case about that. I mean, growing up, living in New Hampshire, I remember hearing about this stuff with Lawrence, Massachusetts, and you think, yeah, right. Then you find out as you get older that it was and you're like, what? As you get older, you find out it's true. You're like, no, they wouldn't do that. And they were. So, if they had this large influx with that, people just wanting free shit. You don't think that that's the same type of idea going on with a lot of these people in the Caravan? If you tell me no, you're full of shit. In a statement on Tuesday, Honduras's foreign ministry urged its citizens to not let themselves be used by a movement that is clearly political and seeks to disrupt the governability, stability, and peace. That's the best Honduras can say. How about we've got our own fucking problems? Let's not make them the United States' problems. Let's try to figure something out here and let's work things out. Let's get some shit going here. That would have probably been a better thing from Honduras. But yeah, these people, they're crossing. I hope Trump, if they come to the border, does have the troops on it, and they arrest every one of these motherfuckers and revolving door them. Because in order to legally claim asylum, you have to do it at a port of entry. And them just walking across the border ain't gonna fucking cut it. I mean, this is just ridiculous shit. Look at the BBC how they're trying to portray this. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.